If you like dogs, you'll like this Brothers Grimm story about some very good boys called the Three Dogs. A brother and sister's parents die and they divide up their stuff. The girl gets the house and the brother gets the sheep and kind of wanders off into the world. Well, then he meets someone who says, I will trade you these 3 dogs for all your sheep. The first dog is named Salt, and he will always bring him food, Pepper, who will tear any attacker to pieces, and Mustard, who can break iron or steel with his teeth. The brother's like, that sounds like a great trade, so he makes it, and he immediately sends Salt for food, and Salt brings him food. He continues on, and he comes across this carriage that's draped all in black, and there's a girl inside wearing all black, and she's crying, and he asks the coachman what's up, and they're like, oh, our village has this dragon that demands a sacrifice of a young maiden every year, and like, it's her turn, so we're taking her to go be sacrificed. And our dude feels bad for her, so he goes with them. They go to this cliff where there's a terrible monster with the body of a snake, huge wings and claws. Then our guy goes, Pepper, come here! And Pepper comes in, rolls the monster over, bites its neck, tears it to pieces. It says the dog ate up all of the body except the 2 front teeth of the dragon, which the shepherd then picked up and put in his pocket. Turns out the girl is a princess. She's like, come on with me, my dad will reward you, maybe we can get married. And he's like, no, I really want to see the world first, but I'll come back for you in 3 years. He leaves, and the second he's gone, that coachman is like, all right, princess, we're going back, and you're gonna tell everyone I killed the dragon, because if you don't, I'm gonna kill you. So she's got to do that. The king, the girl's dad, is so grateful. He says, coachman, you can marry my daughter as a reward, but she's still so young, let's wait a year. It doesn't say how young she is, but if she's young in one of these stories, she's young. She also doesn't want to marry this dude who's threatening her life, and so at the end of the year, she begs for another year, the end of the year, she begs for another year, and so finally the 3 years are up, and her man's coming back. When he comes back and says, I'm here to marry the princess, I killed the dragon, the evil coachman has him thrown in prison. But then he says, Mustard, come here, and Mustard comes with his amazing teeth and gnaws through the bars, and he's able to get free. He proves he killed the dragon because he's got the teeth, and then the coachman gets thrown in prison, and he gets to marry the princess, who is way happier about that situation. But it's actually not over. They live happily for a time, and then the brother's like, I'd really like to see my sister again. So he brings her to the court. She and her brother embrace, and then one of the dogs spoke and said, our task is done. You have no more need of us. We only waited to see that you did not forget your sister in your prosperity. And with that, they turn into birds and fly away. And I love that. They're super good boys because they're not only helpful, they're like, we're also making sure you don't forget what really mattered. And he didn't, so he has a happy ending.